American cities have been hollowed out by spiking crime due to weak, ideologically driven policies that intentionally allow criminals to roam the streets. We've also witnessed the steady advance of a new form of leftism that has infected institutions across our nation. This form of cultural Marxism sows divisions in our society and devalues merit and achievement. This woke ideology represents a war on truth itself. We have just endured years.
Get ready to see a lot more candidates from Iowa over the next 18 months. That's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis kicking off his presidential bid at his first official campaign stop in Des Moines. He's got some ground to make up for. Nationally, he's polling an average of 38 points behind the frontrunner, Donald Trump, who many pundits are now calling the inevitable Republican nominee for 2024. No other candidates are coming close at this time. In fact, former RNC chair Michael Steele suggested on MSNBC that the door is closing on the party to rally behind a Trump alternative.
For all those who think otherwise, Donald Trump will be the nominee of this party until someone decides that they're prepared to lose this primary in order to win a general election and beat Joe Biden. That clamoring sound you hear is the donor and establishment political class saying, we need someone in this race now. My submission to all of them is, y'all too late.
I do love Michael Steele, I really do. But too late? Keep in mind we're still 6 months from 2024 when primary voting begins and 18 months from the general election. Take a look at which candidates were leading 18 months out in elections past. Jeb Bush was beating Trump in May of 2015. Mike Huckabee led the ultimate nominee, Mitt Romney, in 2011. During the 2008 cycle, Hillary Clinton and Rudy Giuliani dominated their parties. Of course, the eventual nominees were Obama and the late Senator John McCain. NewsNation senior political contributor and Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist George Will joins me now. You know, I love Michael Steele. I remember when he was with the RNC, I was working in D.C., and I loved every minute of it. But is he right?
No, he's wrong. You used the magic word a moment ago, inevitability. Donald Trump is trying, understandably, to cast an aura of inevitability. I am the inevitable nominee. Ron DeSantis is saying, I am inevitably the only person who can challenge him. Voters hate inevitabilities. It's like saying that we're in the top of the first inning, the game's over. They said, well, we'd like to have a say in this, and I think they will. The most surprising thing that could happen this year is if we didn't have a surprise.
You know, we talk about the fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 7 candidates already. There could be 8, you know, depending on whether or not the announcement is official today. Will that help or hurt the Trump brand if there are all of these folks who are at the debate stage? How is he going to stand out?
Everything is helping Trump at the moment.
Okay.
That is, if Mr. Trump has a lock on, say, 30% of the Republican vote, if you have 2 people on stage with him fighting over the other 70%, the arithmetic is pretty favorable to them. But if you have 8, 9, 10 people on stage fighting over the 70% of non-Trump base, the more the merrier for Mr. Trump.
And, you know, I wonder if it helps that we don't necessarily know what's going to happen on the Democratic side. Is that going to be helping the Republicans in this election?
I think that there is an unspoken, for good reasons, view in a number of people in Washington that it is not a sure thing that Joe Biden's going to run for president. In 1968, Lyndon Johnson, at the end of March in an election year, decided, because of events in Vietnam and elsewhere, to bow out. But it's not unheard of. And the party adapted. The Democratic Party did. Hubert Humphrey got the nomination, but until he was assassinated, Robert Kennedy competed for it. Gene McCarthy competed for it. The party was nimble and adapted. And the Democratic Party could adapt in a hurry.
Do you think the Democratic Party is nimble right now?
I do, actually. I think there are people out there with a large base, large financial resources. Governor Newsom of California, for one. Gina Raimondo, the Secretary of Commerce, former governor of Rhode Island, would have an enormous appeal to moderate Democrats. the party, you'd be surprised, you have a conflagration of candidates if Mr. Biden decided to step aside.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.